Hey everyone, this is a bonus episode of I Am. On this episode, we are joined by Archbishop Rochus Tatamai, who will be speaking on the Ascension of the Lord on the 7th Sunday of Easter on the Gospel Matthew chapter 28 verses 16 to 20. Enjoy.
Happy Feast Day and greetings from Hiltrup, Germany, the birthplace of our German missionaries, fathers, brothers and sisters. I've been spending some time in the cemetery and visiting the cemetery, praying and acknowledging all these great men, the brothers, the priests who work in the Archdiocese of Rabaul. And it has been emotional, but strengthening and also inspirational in the wake of the fact that the death of the late Archbishop Emeritus of Rabaul, Archbishop Carlese, it was quite moving to observe that some of these great men are lying in the cemetery together, sometimes in twos, sometimes in threes, or along the same row. And for me, that was powerful to observe that they left Germany and came to Rabaul, work in the Archdiocese. Previously was both East and West New Britain, of course also New Ireland and Tumanus. They worked side by side along each other, and now they are lying in the cemetery, lying almost shoulder to shoulder, close to each other in collaboration. Together they left this place, together they sail out to the ends of the earth, and together they labored in the Lord's vineyard. And returning back home, some were sick, retired, on vacation, they never returned, but stayed on until they have their last breath. Now the cemetery is full of them, and for that it is a very good reminder to also reflect on the solemnity of the Ascension. The Ascension itself is quite a very important feast. For Matthew, this is a momentous climax. Jesus is on the holy mountain. Where is this mountain? We do not know really where is this mountain, nor does it really matter which mountain. The importance is that Jesus is commissioning his followers as the second Moses. Reflect back on the first Moses who received the Ten Commandments on the mountain and gave the Ten Commandments as a way of living out a life of responsibility and accountability. And now Matthew is presenting Jesus throughout this gospel as the new Moses. He contrasts this already as Moses received the Ten Commandments and passed it on to the people of Israel as they get ready to enter the promised land. Jesus in Matthew chapter 5 becomes the new Moses who came up on the mountain of Beatitudes and gave the Beatitudes to contrast the Ten Commandments, more based on love, based on the quality of our lives. So just as Matthew taught the Sermon on the Mount, on the Holy Mountain, as Moses has given the old law on the Mount of Sinai, he is the glorious Son of Man, of prophecy of Daniel, to whom all authority on earth has been given. But to him is given all authority in heaven and on earth. Jesus spells this out clearly. He is one with the Father, as St. John tells us. And he only observes what the Father does and came to show us the way to the Father. This is important in knowing the call to Christian life, that Jesus himself is the visible expression of the invisible God. And we learn of God the Father and the Holy Spirit through Jesus, the Word who has become flesh, who reveals himself in our midst. It is the Word who has taken on our humanity in the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And he makes it possible for us to understand that relationship of the unity and communion of the Blessed Trinity throughout the pages of the Gospel. So as Jesus sends them out, he promises that his divine presence will be always with them. it is the strength of that presence that they will pursue their task. This promise provides the final bracket of the gospel, as the name given to Jesus by the angel provided the opening bracket. They will call him Emmanuel, a name which means God is with us. And this is the importance and the significance that the ascension, physically, the apostles saw Jesus lifting up in their presence, the clouds covering him as he leaves to the heavens. And yet the angels came to them and told them, as you've seen him go, he will return in that way. But that is what the physical understanding of being ascended to the Father, taken in his full glory to take once more his own place at the right hand of the Father. And he tells us that nobody sees the Father but him only who comes down from the Father, from heaven. Nobody has seen heaven. Only him who comes down now will go back. And in that process of coming down and going back, that is only for our reference, as we are qualified by time and space. For God is presence. God is everywhere. And that is why he underlines when he calls in his gospel the 11 disciples set out for Galilee to the mountain where Jesus had arranged to meet them. This appointment was arranged by Jesus. It is Jesus who provides the time and space for this opportunity and this encounter to take place. Though we do not know exactly what mountain, but the time and space and attitude is most important. It is the state of our hearts when we enter into this encounter that matters. So when they saw Jesus, they fell down before him, though some hesitated. This particular observation of Matthew does qualify a lot of us, that we can come in faith and be present in our faith for the Holy Eucharist, for the sacraments, baptism, confirmation, any of the celebration of sacrament, or we have a Bible study. That is the intense moments where we encounter God, but still some of us hesitate. We still come with doubts, maybe because we are expecting miracles to take place in our lives. But the miracles are according to our terms and not allowing God to be God. And this is very challenging for us, but also can be a moment of humility to accepting and allowing God to be God. So when they saw Jesus, they fell down, they acknowledged who he is, but at the same time, though some hesitated, and noting that Jesus did not pay attention or did not note. Matthew doesn't tell us if Jesus hesitated or conditionally encountered them. No, he came as he is, regardless of their state of being in faith, totally in acceptance or in hesitation. Jesus came up and spoke to them, and this is what he said: all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Jesus qualifies who he is. Jesus mentions that if all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me, this is his glory. This is his essence and nature. Paul tells us, though his state was divine, he put aside his divinity to become one with us. And that is why, when we talk about this divinity, this is all the authority that he has. That's why he can command nature. He can heal us. He can make miracles. Because he is the source of life. Because in and through him, we have our being, and we move and live. And this is why he says, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. It is an inclusive and comprehensive authority that covers all and extends to all. And once he already declared who he is in his state of authority, he says to them, go therefore, make disciples of all the nations. There is no exceptions. All the nations, the known world and the unknown world, go out and make disciples. And how do you make disciples? Baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Claim disciples for the communion and life of the Holy Trinity. Claim everyone for communion in the blessed Holy Trinity. And as he says this, baptize with water, claiming and declaring these disciples for Jesus. He assures them, and teach them to observe the commandments I gave to you. Teach them to observe the commandments. Live out their Christian witness according to the Beatitudes, according to the order of love, loving God, loving your brothers and sisters. What was said in the Old Testament of the 10 Commandments, the 3 belonging to respect for God, acknowledgement of God, and the 7 for us in our social relationships. Now, Jesus sums it up. You baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teach them to observe all the commands I gave you. So Jesus is in fact telling them, you take my word and pass my word. It is my teaching that you will witness. It is my life that you will offer. And you will see that this is not a promise of glory or comfort and convenience. It is in fact in the Beatitudes it says, once you are pure of heart, once you suffer for what is right, there will be consequences. You will be persecuted. Martyrdom is the way to witness your Christian life. The quality of being a Christian is tested by fire. Gold is tested by fire to get the pure gold. So the quality of our Christianity will also be tested by the persecutions, the mockery, the rejection, all types of burdens, and sometimes you may call unnecessary challenges that the world will pose against us, because that is how the martyrs lived out their life in consistent and constant faith. The concluding line in this particular encounter with Jesus and his apostles at the very last moment of his earthly life, and know that I am with you always to the end of time. So we are not alone. The ascension is Jesus returning back to the Father, but in his return to the Father, he has taken a piece of our humanity to entering the divine. Because in Christmas, we celebrated the divine entered our humanity.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that bonus episode of I Am. If you want more content, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and click on the notification button. That's the bell icon, so that you can get notifications of any future videos that we put up. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.